Hello, my name is Damian Jones. I'm the sales manager for H&H. Just here to give you a brief overview of the 72 motor cars that we've got going under the hammer at Chateau Impney on Sunday, July the 10th. It's a very diverse mixture of motor cars, so the lead car in the sense of the publicity it's generated and the interest is the unique 1966 Costin Nathan Works Prototype. That's a car that Roger Nathan raced to great success in 1966, the highlight of which was a very, very strong drive on the Coupe de Paris at Montlhéry, where he beat Works' Bath opposition. He also did very well, winning his class on at least 5 occasions that season. For 67, it was sold to Jeff Horsley, and he employed Chris Meek to race it. They developed the car from a Spider into a GT. They up-engined it from a Hillman 1-litre tuned engine through to a Ford twin-cam engine. Unfortunately, the car never met with the degree of success that it had done the previous season. Chris Meek, on the one occasion he managed to get it to complete a race, won his class, but that was it. There was some further attempts to make it improved and attempts to get hold of Frank Costin, who built the original monocoque, and get the car back to where they thought it should be, but they were to no avail. The car then remained in Jeff Horsley's ownership until his death last year and is being sold as part of his estate. It's been off the road for a good 45 years, just tucked away in a garage. It's in need of total restoration, but it is absolutely unique. It is the only alloy-bodied Costin Nathan. It is the Works prototype, and it's generated inquiries from literally all over the world. Another car with a story to tell is the 1949 Cadillac Series 75 Fleetwood sedan, one of only 220 made, but what makes it special is that it was first owned by Cardinal Richard J. Cushing. Cardinal Cushing was an intimate family friend of the Kennedys, arguably the most iconic presidential family America's ever seen. And Cardinal Cushing, for example, presided over the wedding of JFK and Jacques Bouvier. He was also there, sadly, for JFK's funeral and that sort of thing. And this car was owned by him for a good chunk of time, and was a car that chauffeured him to different highlights and sad events over time. It's been restored a number of years ago, carefully curated. It's coming over from Holland for the sale, but a car with great history, if only it could talk. The auction also contains some really lovely Jaguars, a series of XKs. So we have a very nice XK120 Roadster, matching numbers car. It's an M model or special equipment model. The car's been owned for a number of years by a former official of the Jaguar Drivers Club and very enthusiastically used and well maintained. So that's a lovely thing. There's a Jaguar XK140 fixed head coupe. That's a car that again began life in America, was then sent to Australia, converted to right-hand drive and modified for long-distance touring. So it's got air conditioning, it's got disc brakes all round, it's got radial tyres, it's got power-assisted steering, it's got a 5-speed gearbox, and really designed to keep cool in Australia's much higher climate, hotter climates even, and something that is great fun. There's also an XK150S 3.4 drop head coupe, matching numbers car, right-hand drive, very nicely restored a number of years ago, looked after for the vendor by Mark Specialist Twyford Moores. Very, very elegant, very well presented car. Then also another very rare Jaguar, we have chassis number 88, the 88th right-hand drive fixed head coupe built. That car's coming out of the same ownership. The vendor's had it for 30 years. He's restored it during that time. So it is historically early E-Type coming to market for the first time in 30 odd years. Other rarities, we have a Bentley Continental Sedanka Coupe, one of just 25 right-hand drive cars made. Those Bentley Sedankas were the flagship car before Volkswagen introduced the Continental GT and all that sort of thing, and they were in many ways the last coach-built Continental. They were very, very expensive when new, very rare. This particular car is low mileage, it's 29,000 odd miles from memory, fully documented history, and certainly a collectible that can be enjoyed now or an investment for the future. We also have some Ford Capris. So you go from the Bentley Continental Sedanka to lot 1 is a Ford Capri 2.8i, a car that's obviously been very well loved over time, really well looked after, very, very original, time warp, and the seller is offering that at no reserve, so that is a great opportunity for any Capri fans out there. Same auction contains a Capri 280 Brooklands, so one of the run-out specials, and that car very, very nicely looked after, low mileage, just under 30,000 miles, very smartly presented, so that should generate good interest. And then a real rarity, a left-hand drive bullet broad-speed turbo Capri. So a Mark I that was displayed in Spain when it was new, owned by a Spanish racing driver, repatriated by the vendor, who is a particular Capri enthusiast, and just as rare as hen's teeth, being a broad-speed turbo bullet. We have a number of other interesting cars, including, in terms of being a historic racer, the 1948 Connaught L2. That was the very first Connaught sports racer to be completed. It was a car that was owned and campaigned by Kenneth McAlpine, who was one of the financiers, one of the backers for Connaught. It was a car that he raced and enjoyed at Silverstone, Goodwood, Prescott. So a car that was raced at some of the great circuits, a car that is potentially eligible for some fantastic historic events. So the likes of the Goodwood Revival or Monaco Historiques, a car with a known ownership history and something that is very, very sought after in terms of what it can get you out for, and just a very rare thing. We also have, in terms of Italian exotica, a Ferrari Testerossa, cars which have seen an enormous uplift in value over the last couple of years. Really a complete 1980s poster icon car. The example that we're offering, again, is a low mileage car, very, very well looked after, very nicely documented history, original UK market car, so one of 438 UK supplied cars, and among the nicest we've seen. An older design, but no less iconic, is a Lancia Aurelia B20 GT. B20 GT was an engineering tour de force. It was beautifully engineered, so you have a transaxle, you have the world's first production V6 engine, and the B20 GTs distinguish themselves on the likes of the Mille Miglia, Le Mans, all the great sort of contemporary sports car races. We also have, in terms of the cars which are elegant, which have got presence, which have got style, we've got a Sunbeam 25 horsepower sports coupe. It's one of only 2 examples known to have survived. Very imposing, alternative to a Derby Bentley, very nice sort of letterbox windscreen styling, very rakish, very elegant, 3.3 litre or a bit over, straight 6 overhead valve engine, so good potential there in terms of performance. Pillarless design, so wonderfully sort of airy interior with the doors open. Interior upholstery looks original, really lovely sort of brown leather and polished wood in there, and just a lovely, lovely thing. That's a brief overview of the cars that we have on offer. We're also offering just over 300 lots of automobilia. The automobilia will start on the Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning. Motor cars will then commence at 2:30 in the afternoon. There's viewing on the Saturday, but the event is ticket only, so entry by ticket only, so you'll need a ticket to get in on either Saturday or Sunday. However, we do have a free preview for H&H clients, so if it's only the auction you're interested in, you're not interested in the 200 odd cars going up the hill or the other razzmatazz that goes with the event, then you're welcome to come to the preview between 12 PM and 6 PM on Friday the 8th. Thank you very much. We hope to see you there. Bye-bye.